time equivalent to almost what, $150 is. That's what you have as pocket money. Today you see people, you know, I was at the ministry. They've been paid what, about 40 something thousand just to go and play football or do any sports and come back less than a week. You know, and then I ask myself this question: was I born at the wrong time?
Certainly that question is a tough one. It however goes to show to him and many other Gambians that the future is indeed bright for the younger generation of Gambians under the Jammeh administration. Well, all is now set for what is most likely to be an historic inauguration ceremony on Thursday. Well, it's over now to Gambians from different walks of life and from every nook and cranny to come out en masse and join in the national celebrations, marking President Jammeh's fourth-term mandate. Ibrahim Balde reporting for Grts at the Independence Stadium in Bakau.
Meanwhile, the Vice President and Minister of Women's Affairs, Dr. Setunjai Sedi, who chairs the committee set up to organize the President's January 19 swearing-in ceremony, and members of the committee this evening visited various places to assess the level of preparedness ahead of the mega event. Madam Jai Sedi and team visited the Independence Stadium, Banjul International Airport, and the Coco Ocean Spa and Resort, where work is in full swing. We hope to bring you more on that in tomorrow's news bulletin. Delegations dispatched by friendly governments to attend President Jammeh's January 19 swearing-in ceremony have started arriving in Banjul. Taiwan's Foreign Minister Timothy Yang and the President of the Algerian Senate, Abdelkader bin Salah, are the first arrivals. Mohamed Jamal Sisa saw the two men and their delegations arrive, and this is his report.
High-profile occasion with high-profile guests. The 8-man delegation from the People's Republic of China on Taiwan, led by the country's Foreign Affairs Minister, Timothy Sitiyong, and leading a group of 4 Algerians is the Senate President, Abdelkader bin Salah. They flew into the Gambia to join thousands of natives and residents of the country to witness President Jammeh take the oath of office after a convincing victory at the recent poll. It's a joyous moment in a political history that the guests would not want to miss out. Taiwan is a household name in the Gambia, and the popularity of this island country has its roots firmly fixed in its many and enormous contributions to the Gambia's development strides.
And I'm also coming to reassure our friends here in the Gambia that Taiwan will continue to be your trustworthy partner in your national development and economic construction.
Algeria is another good and trusted bilateral partner to the Gambia. Events of such political significance in the Gambia would certainly draw Algerian interest.
علاقات الجزائر بغامبيا هي علاقات طيبة.
Algerian Gambian relations are good relations.
ونتمنى لها أن تكون أكثر اتساعا وأكثر شمولا.
And we hope that it will go from strength to strength and will be also generalized to many domains.
A true friend is always available. Distance can't be an impediment. Jackson McDonald was a one-time U.S. ambassador to the Gambia, credited for many successes in the country. A person with such a good reputation would always feel happy to return home.
And so we're here as private citizens at the invitation of the President of the Republic.
These are the latest invitees to arrive, and many more are expected as we count down to the day when the Gambian leader would be sworn in to retake the mantle he's been holding for close to 2 decades now, with ever-increasing expectations on the side of the citizens and committed resolve on the side of the President. For Grts News, I am Mohamed Jamal Sise.
Well, the guests have started trickling, but in the past days, the APRC youth wing has been busy with the appetite of the citizenry as the day continues to inch ever closer. Our Babkar Kamara was with the caravan seeking to remind the citizenry about the watershed event, and this is his report.
Advocacy at work, having the 72% lead ushering in the 4th presidential mandate to President Jammeh, flowing November 24th presidential polls.
This is a branch, that is the youth branch. They are all out to see that
we incorporate all youths of this country to be behind our able leader, President Jammeh.
It is important that we all gather in the Independence Stadium to witness the inauguration of the president, because that for me is a national issue, it's a national event, and that is why it is fundamental, it is overwhelmingly important that every young person comes over to the stadium. Let's fill the stadium, and therefore every young person should come over to Independence Stadium to be part of history making.
They have not disappointed their party leader during the election and are once again sensitizing communities for the fourth inauguration of President Jammeh, scheduled for January 19 at the Independence Stadium in Bakau.
Youths of the Gambia have organized themselves to sensitize people about the forthcoming swearing ceremony of His Excellency Chief Professor Dr. E.J.J. Jammeh. As you all know, I have been saying, the development pattern of this country nowadays, definition imaginable, and better part of the chunk of that development is the youths that are benefiting from it.
The procession, described as democracy at work, amassed a good number of young political activists who are bent on to live on the credential of a man credited with all the opportunities young people are being exposed to.
Every Gambian, particularly young people, should be part of that history and should come and see democracy at work.
The caravan, as part of a broader strategy of the youth wing of the APRC party, is meant to sensitize people in the forthcoming inauguration of President Jammeh. Babukar Kamara, GRTS.
Well, after 7 months of trial on 3 counts, the former Information Minister Ahmad Janneh and his 3 co-defendants now know their fate. The presiding judge, Justice Emmanuel Nkea of the Special Criminal Court, today handed a life sentence to the erstwhile minister, while the 3 others each received 3-year jail sentences for each count. Ibrahim Jata has been following the case and he now reports on the climax.
Trial against the former Information Minister, Dr. Amadou Skater Janneh, and 3 others, namely Modou Keta, Ibrahim Jallo, and Michael Uche Thomas. The 3 have been facing a 4-count charge of conspiracy to commit treason, sedition, and seditious acts here at the Special Criminal Court. It's the final day, and hundreds of people, spectators, family members, and relatives have come out to witness the climax of the 7-month-long trial. It was a long-winded verdict by all measures, yet the presiding judge of the Special Criminal Court didn't waste much time when he finally took seat before a fully packed courtroom to deliver judgment. An outline of the case was the judge's opener as he gave an attentive court the basics of the treason trial, which began on the 19th of June 2011 when prosecutors leveled 4 criminal counts against Dr. Amadou Skater Janneh and 3 others after their arrest for printing 100 T-shirts embossed with the words "Coalition for Change Gambia" and "Dictatorship Now." Prosecutors eventually brought a lineup of 14 witnesses and a wealth of evidence and documents in the form of email messages linking the first accused to a group called Coalition for Change Gambia, whose intent and actions, they said, were directed towards effecting political change in the Gambia by steering a mass public protest and demonstration against the democratically elected government of the Gambia. The accused had since denied the charges and ultimately refused to give evidence at the close of prosecution's case. The trial went directly into judgment, depending solely on the evidence called by prosecution. It is recklessly hazardous to desist from giving evidence when prosecution makes a prima facie case according to Justice Nkea, while presenting the evidence adduced by the prosecution witnesses in piecemeal, even as he examined the content of the CCG email messages indicating the group's actions to effect what they described as a move to dislodge President Jammeh from power. What was the purpose of the literature adorned on the T-shirts printed by the first accused? Justice Nkea, who stated that the literature which says "end dictatorship now" is offensive by its connotation, believes this question was adequately answered in Exhibit D, which states the group's objective to depose the government by strict action, mass protests and demonstrations demanding reform and forceful regime change. The printing of 100 T-shirts which have been distributed around the country, the purchase of a radio transmitter and the meeting by the first accused with Senegalese authorities to solicit support all puts Dr. Janneh at the center of the enterprise, according to Justice Nkea, who stated that the Senegalese saw a serious Gambian dissident group who could be backed to effect change in the CCG, while submitting that prosecution's case was sufficiently corroborated. 3 other accused persons were only charged for their part in printing the T-shirts for the first accused. Yet without evidence, the court cannot conjecture any explanation for their actions when they chose not to testify. But the presiding judge resolved the issue in favor of prosecution, emphasizing that evidence had proven that the 3 were contracted by the first accused to print something evidently unlawful. Justice Nkea subsequently found all accused guilty as charged, and prosecution quickly confirmed that all of them are first offenders who have never had a brush with the law. In his mitigation, which followed, lawyer Lamin Camara asked the court to temper justice with mercy and to exercise its vast discretion in favor of his clients. Camara especially invited the court as he cited several authorities from the Constitution not to impose